As last year developed, though this time last year we were talking about David Dahl, he hadn't done it over a long stretch at the major league level.
Right.
You didn't have him. As the season developed, what were the things that told you that this guy has it? I mean, has some quality.
Well, I mean, you can watch David play. I mean, whether it's a spring training game or a big league game, you can see a skill set that definitely plays in the big leagues. I think he has an intent to hit every at bat, and he's proven that he can handle big league pitching, right? You saw the power, seen average. I like the legs. His legs are very functional on defense, stolen base component. His skill set is an all around complete player, and now I think it's going to be time to see that. In the big leagues, he had to fight through some injuries and being banged up a little bit, but hopefully now he's in a good spot physically where he can go play and help us win.
And from talking to him the other day, he said that you have talked to him about exuding that confidence, having that confidence, and you can see it when he's out there, when he's really feeling
Yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, I think on a daily basis, David, truly believes in himself, which is I think a great trait. When a player truly believes that he's a player, that inner confidence is really advantageous. He's got a way about him that he thinks he can handle any situation, any pitcher, doesn't matter, and I love that. I think that's awesome. So, and you like players that that have that self-confidence.
What does that look like when he feels it? What does that look like? What do you
Well,
see?
you see a guy. I mean, hey, listen, he hits a big home run. He makes a play. There's a looseness to him. There's a natural smile that happens like in dugouts or when he's greeting the guys after doing something great. There's it's sort of like, hey, what do you expect? That's what I do. Shouldn't be surprising,
Right.
which is great. I'm sorry.
I think the stretch run kind of made him.
Oh yeah, I mean that
even
was
more.
sure, and that those types of performances, and there was some good stretches there, right,
Yeah.
where he homered in a number of consecutive games, right? Did he homer in like 5 straight games, or do we have the ability to find that out?
Thomas.
No, we don't have to find it. I mean, but we do have that ability, though, right? Okay. But but yeah, I mean, he was very impactful for us in the second half. I mean, he won us games, and he played good baseball.
Have you guys talked to each other? You and David had some conversations even here in early spring training about your expectations for him? What do you want to see out of
We
him?
haven't had, I mean, we'll get to that. I mean, I've talked, mostly it's been, the pitchers and the catchers that I've
Yeah.
talked to. When the whole group's here officially and we start, yeah, there'll be some more conversations in earnest about expectations and challenges and goals, yeah. But for David specifically, we've talked, we've conversed, but not, anything, real profound. And we've talked. Hey, I don't know if you can imagine this, but I do talk to the guys, and we have
Yes,
we've spoken.
I
So.
believe that,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, speaking of pitchers, talking to Jeff Hoffman about some of the changes that he's
Right.
made in his delivery. What do you need to see from him this year or this spring?
Well, I think first of all, I think with Jeff, there's no denying the talent. He's got a major league arm. He's got good stuff. What I've noticed so far is, his delivery looks a little bit tighter, a little bit more compact, which is great. The shape to his breaking ball looks much better, I think, and also his ability to control it and throw it for strikes. He's working extremely hard, which is great. I think there's also been a natural maturity the last couple of years. I think he's learned a lot. So now I think he's in position to do, what he's capable of, and that is, when he plays, to do well. I mean, that's the expectation. Get outs, get through, 5, 6, 7 innings, whatever that is, as a starting pitcher, and be productive. I think that's what we want to see. I don't, again, you can break it down however you want about lower walks, less hits per innings pitched, pitch efficiency. I mean, yeah, all those things go into one common thing, and that's to pitch well, perform. That's the expectation, and Jeff will tell you that. I mean, that's his expectation. So there's usually not a difference of my expectation and a player's expectation. They're usually aligned because players want to do well, and you know what? I don't want them to do well too.
Right, Mike Dunn told me he's pain-free after the surgery, and he says he's approximately a week, maybe a week behind the rest of the
Yeah,
guys.
he's doing great.
What are the expectations for Mike if he stays pain-free? How much of a boost to your
Yeah.
bullpen can he be?
Well, and again, here's another veteran arm that is pitched well in the back end of a bullpen, in the back end of a game. So the more guys that you have that are performers and produce outs late in the game, it's great. So, Mike, has done that in his career, down in Miami. Here, he's been a little bit off because of, he's been hurt. So a healthy Mike Dunn will be very beneficial to our pen.
Can you talk about the addition of Daniel Murphy, what he brings, his experience,
Yeah.
leadership, and what you hope that he'll bring?
Well,
to this?
all those things, I'll reiterate those. This guy has been a proven performer. You look what he's done with the bat offensively, over his career. He's a solid player. He's an offensive performer. He gives you good at bats. He's a pro. I mean, he's gonna help our guys in a lot of ways. Love the experience. Love the playoff experience. He's been with winning teams. He's played well in the postseason. This guy's a tough player. I like that. The mental side, the toughness that he brings, the intensity. He's going to bring a lot.
What do you want his role to be in that clubhouse? They obviously have some leaders there.
Yeah, but I want him to be himself, and if he does that, he brings a lot because he has great qualities. I think, I think he's a guy that, naturally is a player that players look to because of the way he goes about it. So he fits on a team in a lot of ways. But with him, I'm not going to ask him to do anything more than what he's already done and what he can do. He's just, he'll fit in. He'll be Daniel Murphy, and Daniel Murphy's a great baseball player, and he's great on a team.
How do you like the fit at first base?
He's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's played a lot of first base, more second base, right, in his career, but he's a fella that wants to play first base. Through our conversations in the wintertime when we were courting him and he signed with us, he knows it's at this point in his career, it's best for him and the team that he's on to play first base. This guy's a natural infielder. He's played third, he's played second, he's played first. He's gonna be fine.
With Tyler.
Go ahead, Thomas.
You hear?
Always my turn.
Okay, no. Okay. With Tyler Anderson, he said that last year was kind of an education in how to pace himself through the length of a season. Him having, to a degree, checked off that box, what are you expecting for him next?
I think for me, what I want for all our starters, is to make their starts. I think, if any team has their best 5 starting pitchers, the best 5 pitchers in their organization make their starts, that's an advantage because you're not dipping down in any depth because your best 5 guys are going out there, and I think he's proven that he's capable of that. I think that's something that he wants to do, is to make 30-plus starts, pitch deep into games, give us a chance to win, record outs, and he's capable of doing that. And you sort of learn how to do that from your experience. And where he is now, should be right in those years of, he has experience, he's done it, so now it's just, a matter of, continuing to gain on that.
He can be an extreme strike thrower when he's on. I guess for him, he's talked about the quality of the strikes. Is that the thing with him, that if he can consistently
Yeah.
get the ball to the
Yeah,
tougher
his style of pitcher is that he has to, change speeds and hit spots. Disrupt the timing of the hitter and put the ball in good location. And, that's sort of his style. Is he going to overpower guys? No. But, he's very capable of a strikeout. I mean, you look at his career numbers, he strikes guys out because he has weapons and he controlled the ball.
But,
Go ahead, no.
Go ahead, because we've got to go.
Okay, Joe Madden is curious to see how clubs use the opener. It worked for the A's, they had a rotation that was injured and
Sure.
they got back to the playoffs. Not every organization necessarily needs to do it if
Right.
they have the depth that you just
Sure.
mentioned. What do you think of the whole opener thing? Bumgarner said he won't do it, but you probably don't need an opener when he's pitching.
Right.
Do you think it's gonna be a catch-on?
I think that, to your point, I think there are probably rotations that, or teams that feel as though starting a guy that goes one inning is beneficial to their group of 12, 13 pitchers. And that is probably more than anything the personnel that you have. That's what I think for me, that without really digging deep into it, it's probably personnel based, right? And some strategic component. But when you have a guy that you feel comfortable with starting the game, you go with it.
And along those lines, the Mariners plan to put Kikichi on an innings limit.
Who?
Did I say?
Kikuchi.
Kikuchi.
Okay.
Sorry.
Great.
My ears are,
That's fine.
thank you. Darvish, his rookie year, pitched almost 200 innings. I mean, as a former pitching coach and who's done this, what do you think of these strategies?
I think they're sound. Depending, they're individually based, right? Depending on the pitcher and where his workload has been, what he's capable of doing workload wise. It's very practical to have a boundary of innings for certain pitchers based on where they're coming from, what they've done, and what they can handle. So I think it's very sound.
You kind of massaged it in 17 with some of the younger pitchers
Sure.
then, right? By backing a guy off to the bullpen or sending
Yeah.
the guy down.
Sensitel.
you brought in the Rapsodo this season. I know it's still early. What have your thoughts been?
I think it's a a couple things, where technology is these days, and the Rapsodo technology. It is it's a tool to help us evaluate whether it's all of our pitchers, all of our hitters. I think it's a tool also for our scouts, player development, and it can be used also as a coaching, as another coaching tool. And we will use it, and we are using it. And I know that our coaches and I are getting up to speed on the measurements that are put in front of us. And it's another teaching tool to help us make players better.
Players
So we're in.
like it.
Yeah, I think players in general are curious about technology and about ways to help them get better. I think there's not a player out there who doesn't want to improve, right? And they'll go to a lot of different ways and means to achieve that. And technology and data that tells you something about a player, they're in.
But
Okay.
Pre-Tommy John, do you have one?
Yeah, but I got to go coach Jane.
I'll
but-
ask you later.
Okay.
Walk out with him.
Oh yeah.
Walk out.
Yeah.
We'll walk and talk.
Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.
buddy.
Okay.